There it is right there. All right, mi gente, I got done with the car for the most part. I know I'm looking really rough right now, but bear with me. So got done with the car, the first and the second coats. I didn't get to lay the last coat down. I went really light on the first one, just kind of getting the edges. The second one I went a little heavier, and I was gonna go really heavy on the third one. And you see that is spilled paint, because I was taking my compressor off, or the hose off the compressor, and I broke the dang tube in the middle of the paint job. So the paint that is on this car right now is going to be the paint that is on this car until I can go get another gun, because I only had one. I'm not a painter. I probably got 50 screwdrivers, you know, 30 wrenches, but one paint gun. So this is the product here. It's not, you know, like a $1 million paint job by any means necessary. It wasn't supposed to be. I just needed to get color on the car because it looked really rough. I wanted to experiment, and everybody who's came to look at the car has all complained about the same thing. Oh, it's ugly. Well, I know it's an Avio, but it runs. And besides all the other mechanical things I've done to it, I mean, it's actually in pretty good shape. I got to put some tires on it and get an alignment, but it's ready to rock and roll. And the color does look a whole lot better, even though it's not in its best form, but it does look a whole lot better than how it looked prior to this whole endeavor. So, whew, I'm not a painter, mi gente. I'm not a painter at all. Let me see if I can get this to come up more. Right there. This isn't even like my best quality, to be completely honest. I'm a little upset, but I mean, it's way that it goes. Sometimes you really just can't help, you know, certain instances, certain things from happening. But you know, my main objective was get some color on the car. I mean, it still don't look, you know, the best. You can definitely tell there was very minimum body work done. I only cut it down with an 80 grit one time. This was a Mako style cut and buff, or not even cut and buff, cut and paint paint job. And now it's not even heavy enough where I can apply the last coating, which would have been able to cover up. If the sun's this way, I should probably face this way, because my pigment is godlike and it needs to be in the light. So things that I've learned from painting the car, it has been quite some time. I don't think it's really cheaper than the Rust-Oleum deal. The only thing I can say different about the Rust-Oleum, it probably will lay on a lot thicker, easier, because you just roll it on with a paintbrush. But I mean, if you want to experiment, it ain't really that much more money unless you're starting from the bare scratch. Now that's something to put into consideration. I do have a compressor, I already have hoses, I already had a gun. So I mean, really the only things I invested in was a respirator, the paint, which is single stage, so there's no base coat and clear coat, it's all together, the acrylic, the reducer, and tape. Yeah, tape. And I mean, I used the cheapest paint that I could find, I used the cheapest tape that I could find. I mean, everything was done so inexpensively that I'm not mad about the results not being like, you know, $100,000 paint job. Like I said, it's $1,500, maybe $2,500 car if I had the right buyer. So it's, I guess I could say it's for the faint of heart. I did an intercooler the other day on a 2006 Volkswagen Jetta, and it was hell. You know, you have to rip the whole front end of the car apart just to get to it, and then the AC condenser and the radiator are all sandwiched in and bolted together with, you know, 40 different bolts. It's insane. This was a walk in the park compared to that. It took longer to sand the whole car down and to tape it up than it did to actually spray it itself. Now, in the earlier video, you couldn't really see that I was just spraying along the bottoms and in the creases and such like that, because you want to have those areas covered so you could just bypass it and overlap it, since they won't be as visible to the naked eye, at least to somebody of a good height. I'm a little short, but even at that, I still don't even see the bottom portions. So all those, as you can tell, I got some of the tires in the video, just a little bit actually. For me not taping it, it actually didn't come out that bad. See, stuff like this, where is it at? Stuff like that sucks, because it's just gonna stay in the paint. I asked the guy at the paint shop, I'm like, hey man, can I cut it down and buff it? He's like, man, I'm gonna be honest, with this particular paint, I probably wouldn't recommend it because it's already so thin, and I cut it down by reducing it more than what was required. Like I said, it's kind of backfired because I still probably have a pint left. I have enough to go over the car again, and I had enough to finish the car, but of course it spilled out. So not only do I need to go get another, and that was such a stupid mistake, it literally just slipped out of my hands. I got to go get another gravity feed paint bottle. So I'm gonna list the link of all the things that I used on this below. It really is a super inexpensive project. This is less than $100 paint job by far. If you have all the materials already, I probably spent roughly $60, and I'll go back over it because I gave all these different estimates. But whew, out of breath out here. It's hot and I've been working. So this is my under $100 paint job. It roughly cost $60 something and took less than a day. So yeah, if you just want some color and you want to practice, way to go. So I'm gonna move this before my horrible paint booth here collapses on the car that I just painted. So any questions, concerns, give me a link somewhere down below. If you like the video, subscribe to the channels. I'm like the ultimate DIY dude. So the only thing I don't DIY is my mechanic service, and that's because I know it. This experimental game. So until next time, mi gente, got any questions, comments, leave them down below. Visit me at roadrescue.wordpress.com. Hit me up on Facebook at Seasall, SEASALLLC. And yeah, holla at me. Until next time, mi gente, mi pro mundo beneficio. Peace.